In order to fully conquer the entire eastern region of Ukraine, it will cost them at least another 800,000 dead bodies, the dead bodies of their very own soldiers.
Russia cannot take Donbas on the battlefield, and that reality is shaping the war. According to Ukraine's leadership, Moscow would need years and hundreds of thousands more casualties just to seize the remaining parts of Donbas, and even then success is far from guaranteed. Russian offensives have slowed to a grinding crawl, gaining meters at enormous cost, while Ukraine continues to hold key defensive lines. For Kyiv, even freezing the current front is already seen as a painful concession, not a step toward surrender. Unable to achieve decisive breakthroughs against Ukrainian defenses, Russia has increasingly shifted pressure away from the front and onto Ukrainian cities. Missile and drone strikes against civilian infrastructure are not random acts of terror. They are part of a strategy designed to break morale and force political concessions that Russian forces cannot secure through combat. The message from Moscow is clear. If it cannot capture Donbas by force of arms, it will try to pressure Ukraine into accepting loss through fear and exhaustion. But after years of war, Kyiv shows no sign of surrendering territory simply because it is being targeted from the sky. Russia would need at least 2 years to seize Donbas and would not last that long, President Zelensky said. He said such an attempt would cost Russia another 800,000 dead soldiers and advance only slowly. Zelensky added that freezing the front line is already a concession by Ukraine.
Voiceover. The crucial aspect of these negotiations, as you have previously stated, concerns the territories, particularly Donbas. The Russians are demanding that you withdraw from the territories they have not yet managed to conquer, for example, from Donetsk. You clearly stated that this is a red line. Absolutely not. And you are confirming this position even today.
No, we will not retreat. We won't abandon Donetsk.
Voiceover. Russia wants us to leave all of Donbas. Why is that? Because from the moment they began this war, they have not achieved a single victory. We, the Ukrainian people, understand perfectly the immense price every single meter and kilometer of this land is costing the Russian military. They do not count the lives of those who perish. We, however, are compelled to do so. In order to fully conquer the entire eastern region of Ukraine, it will cost them at least another 800,000 dead bodies, the dead bodies of their very own soldiers. It is going to take them at least 2 full years, even with a very slow rate of progress. In my personal opinion, I simply do not believe they will be able to hold out for that long. But what kind of concession are you actually prepared to make at this point in time? You are saying no to Donetsk, but what specific concessions are you really willing to offer? Are you truly ready to let go of the territories located within the Donbas region? Let us be completely honest with ourselves and face the reality of the situation. If we are to speak about a frozen conflict, something I have never wished for, but if we were to freeze the front line and maintain our current positions, that would already be a very substantial concession from our side. Some are now proposing that we operate as if we're selecting a meal from a restaurant menu. This is what they are offering you, but that is absolutely not the truth. It is about making concessions for both of the involved parties. The Russians are in need of a pause. They are facing the very same problems that I mentioned to you. If we're talking about an economic zone, for example, our military forces will have to withdraw. The Russians too will be required to do the very same thing. If we're discussing a demilitarized zone, we must control our own section. They must control theirs. But between us, we will need an international demarcation force, an international presence.
And Putin's cowardly tactics, backed by its nuclear arsenal, sheer incompetence, and the politics of Donald Trump, are going to another level. Moscow believes that the recognition of Donbas as part of Russia by all countries should be part of a major agreement, a Western source close to the Abu Dhabi talks told the media. Russia sees the aspect concerning the recognition of Donbas by all countries as crucial, the source said. Russia, the US, and Ukraine held the second round of trilateral security consultations in Abu Dhabi. And Russia keeps arming its ally in the Middle East. Iran may have received Russian-made Mi-28NE attack helicopters ordered in 2023. The War Zone reported on this. Several open-source materials have appeared that could indicate the delivery of these helicopters to Iran. In particular, a video recently circulated online allegedly shows a Mi-28 helicopter flying over Tehran. However, it is currently impossible to confirm that the footage was filmed in the Iranian capital. The camera angle does not allow the location to be clearly identified, and it cannot be ruled out that the helicopter belongs to another operator country, such as Iraq or Algeria. In addition, Photographs of a Mi-28NE helicopter in a distinctive desert camouflage scheme taken inside an unidentified hangar appeared in late January. Members of the OSINT community stated that the images may have been taken at a facility belonging to the Iranian company Pars Aerospace Services Company, PASC, located at one of Tehran's airports. The company is linked to the terrorist organization Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and is subject to international sanctions. However, contradictions also exist here. The geometry of the hangar shown in the released photos, at least visually, does not match known satellite imagery of PASC facilities. The photographs show a rounded ceiling, whereas satellite images indicate a building with sharp corners and a triangular shape. In this regard, it cannot be ruled out that the photographs may have been taken on Russian territory. In addition, on January 3rd, Iranian journalist Mohammad Taheri published a post claiming that the Mi-28 helicopter had been officially inducted into service. Taheri is affiliated with the Tasnim news agency, which was among the first in 2023 to report on Iran's possible acquisition of Mi-28 helicopters, as well as Su-35 fighter jets and Yak-130 combat training aircraft. The potential appearance of Mi-28 helicopters in Iran has also been linked to increased activity by Russian transport aviation, which conducted flights to Tehran throughout January. However, this information has not yet been confirmed. The Mi-28NE is the export version of the Russian Mi-28N attack helicopter. It is equipped with a mast-mounted radar, thermal imaging and television sensors, and a laser rangefinder. The pilots' and weapons operators' cockpits are armored, key systems are duplicated, and the main rotor blades are capable of withstanding hits from small-caliber rounds. The helicopter is also equipped with electronic countermeasures and flare dispensers to protect against man-portable air defense systems. The Mi-28NE is armed with a movable 30mm automatic cannon and a wide range of missile weapons. Its primary anti-tank armament consists of guided missiles of the Ataka or Chrysanthema types. The helicopter can also carry unguided rockets, aerial bombs, and air-to-air missiles for self-defense. The export version of the Mi-28NE is adapted to the requirements of a specific customer, enabling modifications to avionics, communications, and weapons systems.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.